Box and Wireless Scotland, the very best of your box and wireless.
How's the time looking? 10 minutes to 11. You're listening to Scottie McClue's Massive Mighty Megaphone In. We are, of course, live on the big one, the country's top radio station, and the one everyone's talking about and the one everyone's listening to. The phone lines are open. 01698 337 107. Feel free to give me a call. Just after 11 o'clock, I'm going to be speaking to Derek Acorah. Now, for those, most of you will be familiar with Derek, but Derek Acorah is undoubtedly the UK's #1 spirit medium. He achieved his current status by becoming the resident medium for Living TV's Most Haunted, in which he was seen investigating haunted properties. The programme proved to be a huge success, with the viewing public achieving phenomenal audience figures. And this success has prompted Living TV to broadcast a live 3.5-hour Halloween show in October 2003, which had viewing figures in excess of 1.4 million people. There's subsequently been numerous live programmes from Derek Acorah, which have seen audiences reach in excess of £2 million. Now, his personal popularity rose to such an extent he moved on to The Most Haunted in his own show on Living TV, Derek Acorah's Ghost Towns, and the first series began broadcasting in November 2005, with series 2 and 3 airing in 2006. Also to date, there have been 2 live Derek Acorah's Ghost Towns programmes broadcast in 2006. So there we are. Now, he's also got a new show coming up on Sky television, and we'll be asking him all about that when we speak to him. So there we are. The psychic Derek Acorah is going to be talking to me just after 11 o'clock. How did I know that? I'm just tuned in. To your telephones, 01698 337 107. We're talking to Derek Acorah, Britain's leading medium. Up after this.
www.l107.com. L107.
L107, Scotland's #1 radio station. This is the big one, the one everyone's talking about, the one everyone's listening to. You're listening to Scottie McClue's Massive Mighty Megaphone In. If you've just joined us, a very good morning. We have our second guest this morning, who is none other than Derek Acorah. Derek Acorah, good morning.
Good morning, Scotty.
Lovely to hear from you, sir. Now, where are you? Are you in London? Are you in Africa or India?
No, I'm on the road now, going towards to pick up the sea cat to take me over to Dublin. Oh,
fantastic. I know it well. So you're leaving from the landing stage at Liverpool?
No. We're in, what's this, the name? Know where we're going to.
All right. Holyhead in Wales to Dunleary.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. You'll have a great crossing.
Thank you.
The last time I did it, actually, I think they had to shut the bar because it was so rough, but hopefully that won't happen this morning.
I hope not.
We don't want them shutting the bar, Derek. Now,
that's right.
Derek, without doubt, you're the UK's #1 spirit medium.
Thank you.
Now, a lot of our listeners are very, very familiar with your work and will have seen you many times on television, and I believe you've got a new show coming up on Sky.
I have actually. It's actually running current now, Scotty.
Right.
It's on Sky Real Lives.
Yep.
Friday evening from 9 to 10 p.m.
Sky Real Life, Friday evening, 9 to 10. What's the show about then, Derek? Fill us in on that one, please.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited about it because, it's in 3 stages, 3 parts. I have an audience where I do open readings for them, and then I move on, and I've asked the audience to bring in family heirlooms and items that belong maybe to parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and I will psychometrize those articles, and, you get some amazing results from the vibrations from those articles. And then we go to the first of its kind, never been done before by a medium, where we ask the public about their pet. We're all animal lovers in Great Britain, or most of us are, and we love our dogs and our cats and, rabbits, all domesticated animals. And I asked the ones that have got problems with their animals, maybe the personalities changed, or maybe, the dog or the cat's, down in the dumps, and they've taken the animal to a vet, and the vet can't find any real obvious reason. So I asked to bring them in, and we communicate with that animal psychically, and we find out the problems, and once we've done that, then the owners of the animal can do something about it and bring the pets back the way they used to be.
This is fantastic. Now, Derek, to what extent do you believe that the animals may well be spirits, may well have been something else in another life?
Well, you know something, Scotty? This has been what we call a very, very strong debate across the world for a long time within the circles of spiritualism and that. My belief, most definitely, I've had proof, it's not just a belief system, that animals, just like ourselves, have spirit within. Meaning the dogs and the cats, you see, they've got so used to living from puppies and kittens with human beings that, you know, our type of energy transports over to them. They haven't got our intellect, naturally, as the human beings, but they have got what is the vital ingredient, and that is spirit. And when animals pass over, just like ourselves, my belief is that they go, also their spirit goes over. I would call it the animal kingdom in the world of spirit. And, you know, our loved ones that are over that side can go and be with them after they supposedly passed over. They still live on. They are eternal.
When they get to Rainbow Bridge?
Yes.
They're waiting for us there.
Absolutely.
How marvellous. Now, Derek, a lot of this, there's so many doubting Thomases out there when it comes to spiritualism and to mediums in general. So, do you get quite a lot of anti-feeling from audiences sometimes, or is everybody with you?
Well, you see, if we talked about maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, Scotty, you did have a certain percentage of people who were anti, or let's say skeptical-minded or cynical. But as we've come forward over the years, and especially since the paranormal programming, you know, is seen, and I've been involved with that sort of thing with television now for 13, 14 years, there's been a major shift, a big shift for the better, in the sense that people are, you know, really, looking into the possibilities that there is an afterlife, and when they're searching, they're finding the results, they're getting the right results. So, of course, the belief system now is changed. Presently, in any given show that I do in any theatre across Great Britain or even abroad, you will get the odd scattered one or two, but that's not even 1% now.
No, not at all.
If you've got 1,500, 2,000 people, and there's maybe one or two people in there, that really, and it doesn't bother me, Scotty, because, you know, my belief system is so steadfast, because I've been given proof over the years, time and time again. Those people will eventually, I don't know, cotton on to, or maybe they'll have an experience which will change their way of thinking.
Derek, to what extent do people have to be believers in the spirit world to actually contact somebody from the spirit world?
Well, really, you know, Scott, they don't have to be, you know, dour believers. All they have to be is open-minded, because the open-mindedness brings the sincerity from our heart out, which helps the spirit people, because that's what they link with. They're not of the physical life anymore. They're in the ethereal body, the spirit body, and they go off feelings. So if the feelings are coming from a person who's sincere of heart, sincere of mind, that person will get the positive proof that there is an afterlife and their loved ones still live on.
Now, when you are contacting somebody, Derek, what do you see, may I use the term, in your mind's eye?
No, well, that's fine, but I don't. Many, many years ago, you know, when I first started developing, that's the way I used to see it subjectively in my mind's eye. But as I've developed over years, my clairvoyance has become objective, where when a spirit person comes into the atmosphere, whether it's alongside me in a theatre or in a one-to-one with a person, I will see that spirit person very tangibly. I will see the features. I will see not just the ethereal body. A lot of them show themselves in clothing that they were used to wearing or what they liked when they were in the physical life.
So are you able to describe this to people?
Yes, absolutely. I will describe the person, the features, what's happening with, you know, facially, hair, eyes, you know, and these are the things that I do and can do in the shows that I conduct. And
is it ever anxiety-making for somebody when they think, my goodness, it's my dad, he's talking about my dad?
Well, naturally there is. There's a heightened awareness, a hype that's going on in the audience, because you get a deep quietude, a quick silence. He said, you know, you might have 1,500 people there and you could hear a pin drop because they're so zoned in on it. When I'm describing the spirit person, and when they start giving the names and the connection of the names of the loved ones in the audience, well, it can be really having people, gripping the seats.
Now, I can vouch for this, because a medium once came to the radio station, and I had my first black Labrador dog, Lord Reith, who's no longer with us. He was very famous, and the medium asked if the dog could go out, and I said, sorry, are you allergic to dogs? And he said, no, he's just huge. It's very difficult for me to get to you.
Yes.
Have you had an experience like that?
Absolutely.
You just think, gosh, this is a big spirit.
Yes, absolutely. And, what the medium was saying is very true.
Yes, from that point of view. Now, do you get opposition, Derek, from established religious groups?
Well, that's another thing. Many years ago, it was funny because you'd go to a theatre, Scotty, and suddenly you'd no sooner settle yourself into the dressing room ready to prepare yourself for the evening, and you'd hear people shouting and chanting and singing, and you look out the window and you see maybe a circle of 20 people, men and women, walking around with banners saying, this is the devil's work, don't go in there, he's the son of Satan, and it was terrible, it was diabolical.
Obviously you've borne that with great fortitude, though.
Oh, yes. I used to go out and say, look, why do you feel that way? I'm sure you wouldn't feel that way if you come inside and watch the evening and took part, and they would look at me with terrible disdain. But you see, what the upsetting thing was, Scotty, was that the people who were coming in, who had the tickets, were really looking forward to queuing up. But these people who were supposed to be spiritual were hustling and pushing these people and trying to prevent them from coming in. That wasn't very spiritual, was it?
So by and large, it's a fear of the unknown from the established religions.
It is, absolutely. It is the fear of the unknown.
They should actually come and see you work.
Absolutely, and then they would, I'm sure they would say and understand, it is a very tender, emotional, touching love that comes through from the world of spirit, and see what good it does, not the opposite.
Because quite often, Derek, we say about a person, they say, well, they've been here before, haven't they?
Oh, yes. An old soul.
Yes.
Yes, and because, we do get old souls, a lot of old souls, they are incarnated into a life, and you may be fortunate to come into the company or meet them, and you see that they are full of personality, something, that little extra speciality about them, and you'd always find an old soul is a very caring person, a person who's very charitable, a person who sees no real bad in people, and, it's just absolutely beautiful to be in the company of an old soul.
I actually encountered a ghost one night, Derek, and if I could ask your advice, I was sitting in the house typing, I couldn't see anything, I was just aware of a presence.
Yeah.
And I said, who are you and what can I do for you? And there was a relaxation of the atmosphere in the room. What would that have been, perhaps?
Well, that most definitely, you had visitation, that's for certain. Meaning from a spirit person who's come over from their realm where they're actually living. And, I would say 9 times out of 10, when you get that sort of peace and tranquility that, besets the atmosphere, the ether in which you're around, it's generally a loved one that belongs to you that has gone over before you. It could be, i.e., a mother, a father, grandparent, someone that has known you, that has loved you, and that person is just coming back to present themselves in visitation to you.
Could it have been somebody detached from me by the same token that may have been involved with the house or the ground that the house was built on?
Could have been, yes. Could have been that. Also, that's a high factor as well. Generally, when you get a dying spirit person, when they come in visitation to you, whether it be family or people that have lived in the area or actually in that place or a dwelling before, they will always leave a nice sense of tranquility within the atmosphere.
Yes, it's quite interesting because there was that relaxation once I'd spoken to, and as I say, I couldn't see anything, Derek. I was just drawn towards a spot in the room.
Yes, well, I mean, you're sensing, you see, because everyone is born with that sensing factor. It's called clairsentience. And basically what it is that everyone is born that, into a lifetime has got psychic ability, but it's untrained, it's untapped.
And do most people not use it, Derek?
Most people don't use it, Scotty. And this, if they started to use it, they would realise after a short space of time that there was another world, there was, and there is, another facility to physical life, and it's around us. Best part of the time invisible to our physical eyes, and also in sound to our physical ears. But once we open ourselves up, that world becomes known to us.
Do you think the world would be a better place if everybody invoked their own psychic abilities?
Oh, absolutely. It would, but something, it could be a utopia. It could be heaven itself on this earth. Because
this world needs a way ahead now, and it's struggling to find the right road, isn't it? Let's have it straight.
It is. And, it seemingly is getting worse, the stuff that's happening on the planet, all over the world. And, if people were to zone in on that facility, you would find a great change taking place.
Now, Derek, have you ever been... this is a listener has actually sent this question in. Have you ever been approached by the police to help out in cases?
Yes, I have. I've done that in the past on a number of occasions, and it's done generally very quietly and privately.
Yes.
And the police really don't want to push it out, to the front pages of tabloids or get it onto radio. They like you to, when you are helping them as a medium, murder cases, people going missing, even sometimes with suicide, to find out the real reason.
And have you had a lot of success in many of these cases, Derek?
I can say that I'm very happy over three that I was involved in, which helped, they tell me, fantastically.
Wonderful. Now, I better let you go because you're a very, very busy man, but you've got a huge tour, a huge touring schedule ready now, and you're going off to Dublin.
Yes.
Yes, and you're at Derry on the 5th of April.
I am, yes.
We get callers from Derry here, of course. You're Birmingham, and then you're up to Scotland on the 19th of April. Is that right?
That's correct, Gotty, and I'm really looking forward to coming up.
Oh, you'll be made very welcome. You're at the Festival Theatre in Edinburgh on the 19th, I believe.
Yes.
You're going off up to Inverness to Eden Court Theatre, a lovely little theatre up there on the 21st. You're coming through to Glasgow, which is part of our patch, on the 22nd.
Yes.
To the concert hall, the Royal Concert Hall, and you're off up to Perth as well. Now, I think this is fantastic. Do you find the whole touring schedule, do you find it very punishing, or are you just in love with the people?
Well, naturally I am in love with the people, because, this is part of my work that I do, that I love even more so than television, because this is live work. This is actually touching upon people's lives. You get no feedback from cameras, as you know, when you're doing television shows, although I still like doing the shows. No, my real work and real passion, still in my heart, still excited about it, is travelling and doing my work on the road.
Fantastic. Derek, we'd love to do more with you. Would you be interested at some point, if you had the time and it all fitted in, to come and talk to us perhaps live on the radio and maybe do, one or two calls?
I'd love to do that for you, Scotty.
It would be wonderful, because we are Scotland's #1, and we would love to have you with us, Derek, if you can squeeze us into your busy schedule, and all the very, very best with the tour.
Thank you so much, Scotty, and I'll keep a promise, I will come in, okay?
That would be lovely, because it would just be absolutely huge, Derek, and it'd be lovely to meet you.
And same here, Scotty, lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much for your time this morning, and all the very best.
Thanks, Scotty.
Thanks, Derek. Dinky do, sir.
Thank you, bye.
Bye-bye now. There we are. That's Derek Acorah, who is without doubt the country's #1 spirit medium, and I hope that shed a bit of light for you on a lot of Derek's work. He's got his show on Sky Television between 9 and 10, and was that on the Friday night, he said? I think he said on the Friday night, but I can get that to you. So there we are, and hopefully Derek will come and join us here at L107, and you can judge for yourselves. Right, to the telephones. What do you think about the whole idea of the spirit world, of mediums, when you've heard Derek talking there? Feel free to chip in, to join in the debate. 01698 337 107. 01698 337 107.
Box and Wireless Scotland, the very best of your box and wireless.